Let's just go through some city council highlights quickly. Does 2 plus 2 equals, what is that, 2 to 2, what does that equal? And the Public Safety Subcommittee. Last month we talked about this. This was a vote about a Sand Canyon beautification project and the contract to design that project. One of the things that we talked about last month was the fact that the low bidder was not selected. The low bidder is a Santa Clarita company, and the company selected was an out-of-towner. The question was, could, in fact, and why, would the city not select the low bidder? And in this case, the contract for professional services, such as private architectural, landscape, and engineering, must be awarded on the basis of demonstrated competence and professional qualifications necessary to satisfy the performance of services. That is one of the general law codes, and so our city is not obligated in this case to take the low bidder, but to take the contractor that had the most qualifications. But that wasn't really the question we asked. On that date, there was a vote and to take the action, and West and McLean voted yes, Keller and Ender voted no, and Marcia turned toward Joe Montes, the attorney, and said, "What does this mean?" And he said, "Well, it means that it passed." And we were all in the audience going, "Really? That's really amazing." So we turned around, and I looked again at the frequently asked question for general law cities. I saw something that said all ordinances, resolutions, and orders for payment of money require a majority vote of the total membership of the council, meaning it would require 3. And so let's see what happened. On agenda item 7, at the April the 12th City Council meeting, they brought that issue back on the agenda. When they brought it back on the agenda, they brought it back for reconsideration. But they didn't tell us why they were reconsidering it. And there was no mention in the information or the staff report about the March 8th vote or the vote process. So I got up to speak. They were about to say, "Well, let's go vote on this again." And they said, "Oh, we got a speaker." And I got up to speak. And I said, "Hey, guys, I asked the questions about the vote and the rationale for reconsideration. And I got to tell you what, if I tell you the atmosphere got very tense, that would be an understatement." Joe, the city attorney, indicated that Santa Clarita did not have an approved policy on how to handle the situation when a vote is a tie, and indicated that some councils in some cities do. Later on, he explained to me that if our city would have adopted Robert's Rules of Order, then 2 to 2 would have been a no-go. But he said there are some cities that he works for where they have taken and set up a resolution that says a tie vote goes to the winner. And that's probably was Bell, but I didn't want to mention that. Anyway, they then voted on the agenda item. All 5 council members were present, and they passed the staff recommendation. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with the recommendation. But right afterwards, I went over to Joe, and I said, "Joe, I'm really curious as to why you believe that the California Government Code 36936 doesn't really apply in this case." And I tell you what, Joe Montes was very, very cordial. He was very professional. He sat down with me. He thanked me for bringing up the situation. I don't think he was lying. And his position is that the California Government Code 36936 doesn't apply because it was not a warrant authorizing the direct payment of money. But he did say that since the council had not approved a policy on handling tie council votes, it was appropriate to reconsider and revote on this issue. And like I said, Joe was extremely cordial and extremely professional, and offered the option of getting a hold of him and asking him questions out of the council meeting if I had any questions in the future. So that's what happened. Hopefully there's a lesson learned there, kind of what I said in my speech that I don't think they liked very much, and that was that honesty and transparency would have made this situation a non-issue. Admitting a misstep and implementing mitigating actions increases confidence in our elected officials, and it would have been easy to accept the problem and move on. Conversely, hiding a misstep creates distrust and increases suspicion on other decisions for other unrelated issues. And I'm hoping that they really and truly learn from that experience. I did notice that there was an article in Daily News about Bill and Ken Pulskamp, and he was talking about the importance of a local newspaper reporting on issues like this so that people would know what happened. And I guess our paper did when it came out, and that there could have been prevented with a little sunshine, Ken said. And so I'm hoping that Ken is going to give us a much sunnier council meeting from now on. Public Safety Subcommittee. Bob Keller is pushing a public safety subcommittee. I think that in his idea, it would be a way for council members to stay abreast of Santa Cruz Valley's key public safety issues, and residents would have a chance to share concerns with local law enforcement on a normal and in a relaxed setting. I think that's any time that we get the ability to go and talk to our elected officials or our public servants. It's a great thing. We've had Captain Becker here. Captain Becker seems to be a really great guy. And certain things, it met with little resistance at the last meeting. These are some quotes. Lorraine West said, "We don't want this to become a sort of complaint-driven ventilation kind of scenario. We want something that's productive." So I guess anytime you have a problem and you want to vent about it, and I don't know what is more productive than that, so that our council members know what's going on. And Marcia was unsure whether there was sufficient need because the council already receives detailed monthly reports from Captain Becker. So I guess she feels that if she gets reports from the captain, there's no need hearing from you. So the council did agree to discuss the public safety subcommittee at another meeting, and I'd like to enlist your support for Bob's public safety subcommittee. I don't see what could be more productive than our citizens provided a venue so that they could interact with our law enforcement agencies on a regular basis. And